Alright, third time's a charm, and hopefully no cars come by. This is Costas from Kentucky Gamer Zone, and welcome back, guys. This is, yes, another Jurassic World Evolution discussionary video, and thank you all so much for viewing my past two videos on Jurassic World Evolution. This is not something my forte really requires or calls for in my expertise. I'm just a longtime Jurassic fan, and I figured I want to do some content for it, regardless of my demographic, and I hope I have been enjoyable thus far. I'm still very rusty with this whole commentation sort of discussion thing, so again, I just appreciate all the views, the likes, and the love I've been getting, so thank you so much. That means the world to me with all those likes. For today's topic, we're going to be talking a little bit about just speculation, what we're going to see park-wise coming out from players when the game launches in just 4 days, and also to some very awesome news and confirmation about a feature system that for at least me personally, am very excited about, and that's what we're actually going to start talking about. But first and foremost, I am going to be streaming this, of course, on Twitch, our official Twitch channel. I'll have the link down in the description below. You guys can enjoy that, hopefully, Tuesday at around 12 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I will be doing two streams on Tuesday, one at 12 and the other at 5 or 6, respectively. Haven't hammered that detail out yet, but you guys will see that coming pretty soon. I will also be doing a Let's Play, which will basically just be taking my live streams, chopping them down to smaller bits, and uploading them to YouTube. So for those of you that can't catch the live stream, don't worry, I'll have it over on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. So yesterday, Frontier Entertainment held a AMA on the PlayStation subreddit, and we got some questions answered. I wasn't expecting to get my question answered, but boy howdy, it got answered. And judging from the response from everybody on the Jurassic World Evolution Reddit, it's something that a lot of players are also concerned about too. Now, I was told by two people on that subreddit that this was confirmed months back. In my defense, I did do some research. I did look using all manner of Google search tag title, whether that's Jurassic World Evolution, guest penalization, guest lawsuit, guest death, guests, just guest in general. And the only thing I could find was the usual banter of make sure security is tight so you can protect your guests. There wasn't any sort of official confirmation, and while it is something that seems kind of obvious to have in a game, it's still nice to know that the developers actually care enough to maybe expand the system a little. And I got confirmation from Nick Rogers saying that yes, lawsuits can happen and will hurt your bottom lining. A few hours after that AMA, Brett from Frontier also commented on my post on the Jurassic World Evolution subreddit, and he said, as you guys can see, Nodgers isn't joking about it severely hitting your park's pocketbook and rating. For example, I gave our latest build a run this morning. I had a guest, maybe a few, smiley face, die by being trampled. The result was me having to start over because the rating was plummeting and the debt kept growing. Second time around, I planned things differently. Shakes fists. So that's awesome to see, and we actually got two little bit of revealing tidbits from this, that guest fatalities can seriously hamper that park rating. Whether that is the simple fact that it means nobody's going to come to your park, maybe it means you have to reevaluate your entire park. That's something that's pretty darn interesting. And the fact that he mentions that debt kept growing, did he not pay off those settlements? Did he ignore them, or was it just the simple fact that so many deaths happen and so many lawsuits happen that he financially would not have any feasible way to pay it off? That's something that I find is very interesting in of itself, that the game can actually really just, financially throw you into a corner and say, well, you're on your own now, so good luck. I find that personally engaging. I find it personally realistic. Now, I know a lot of you that are probably going to be watching this are going to be like, well, that's kind of stupid, and they should definitely tone that down if even a developer had to restart. And just bear this in mind. I mean, if this were something that was real life, I mean, that is something that's always in the background thought of every, zoo, every, kind of park that has things that could kill people. It's always about what happens if we get this major lawsuit? What happens if we can't pay this lawsuit off? Type thing. And I think that's very awesome to have. It forces the player to actually legitimately be concerned about their guests' well-being and safety, not only for the dinosaur's sake, but for their own sake and for your pocketbook's sake. But yeah, this is just a small little confirmation. I personally feel happy that this is going to be in the game in some implemented format. I cannot speak to this morning. So hopefully you guys enjoy this sort of confirmation too. I know I very much enjoy it myself. But moving on, we're just going to be kind of me just elating about I can't wait to see what you guys do park-wise. I am so ecstatic that this game is finally coming out to have something that's truly a successor to Jurassic Park Operation Genesis and not some half, but, sort of application called Jurassic Park Park Builder that's basically like Farmville, but with dinosaur parks that it just wasn't a park. They turned into like battle arenas where you fought with hybrid dinosaurs and kind of turned into kind of Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh, where you got the most powerful dinosaur you could ever have in your team and you went to go take on the Elite Four or something. Like, to me, that lost its charm so quickly, especially after I found that out when I first started playing. It's kind of like, that's not something I really wanted to do with my dinosaurs. I just wanted to run a park. I wanted to make, a happy place where kids can come see dinosaurs. But thankfully, this is not a mobile game port. This is a dedicated real park builder management. And while it might not be the best, I know players have their concerns considering this was only an 18-month development cycle. But again, just bear in mind, this is a licensed title, so deadlines had to be met. Especially Frontier wanted to have the potential to keep on working on this. And that's something Frontier has expressed themselves. Post-launch, they're going to try to do as much as they can to support it, whether that means new DLC, new cosmetic items, or just, overall quality of life improvements. And I think that's going to be something that's pretty awesome to have. Brett, I believe, it was either Brett or Nick Rogers also mentioned and commented on the status of some individuals actually getting a secondary install patch that was like 5 gigs, and he said that was actually usually it's audio fixes, it's UI fixes, but it's also animation tweaks. So with this new patch that's coming out, because Frontier has said there will be a day one patch, so maybe some things will be fixed in terms of animation concerns for players with dinosaurs or something like that. So that's pretty awesome to have. And again, they've also been very vocal with lack of player decoration and customization, which, as you guys can see with the screenshot, that one doesn't really show, but this screenshot in particular right here, I mean, you don't have park benches, you don't have trash bins that you can just freely place. That's something that, again, it's kind of like the death thing. It's very small and very, something that most players would take for granted and kind of be like, well, why is that important type thing? Once it's not there, it's kind of blatantly noticeable. It'd be like that if we didn't have a death penalty. I mean, what's the point in making sure the guests are secure if you're not going to be penalized for it? Sure, it was it's always going to be there, but it's just nice to have. Still, it is something that Frontier has also addressed and concerned that they said they would actually look into for future type of, either whether it's a free patch update or if it's a DLC of some sort. I still think it'd be cool to have a more wider attraction-based DLC, including hotels. We only have one hotel, and that's what it looks like. It's not a bad-looking model at all. It's just going to get very repetitive when you're kind of wanting to spruce things up and individualize your hotels when they all look exactly the same. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's just a very small gripe that I have. But frankly speaking, I'm still ecstatic to be having such a wide diversity of actual designed buildings. They all look very nice. Their in-game models match, I would say, Jurassic World pretty darn good, especially this innovation center. Now, I'm just very curious to see what all you players do with your parks, whether that's turning them into biological preserves, whether that's turning them into kind of a glorified modern safari take on African safari tours, or if it's kind of set up like a Disneyland resort. The attractions are just really the dinosaurs. They're not animatronic. They can kill you. That's the only thing you need to be worried about type situation. But it's going to be interesting to see what past players take, whether they're more obsessed with the security facet of stuff and then selling their dinosaurs off for the military use or the highest bidder type of thing, or whether they're more concerned about pursuing super awesome genetics with making a purebred dinosaur, making hybrids, or again, if they're just going to shill out everybody for all that they got and suck the economy dry just for monetary profit gain at the dinosaur's expense. I know personally for me, I want to do island tours. I want to be able to showcase and feature some other islands from you guys specifically. I'm gonna have some more details on this later on because it's something that I want to do personally myself. And if the camera allows me to zoom out far enough, I do want to take like a screenshot overview of the park and then make an interactive map for players to enjoy, to experience. I think it'd be a lot of fun, to be honest. And gives your park a little bit more charm. Somebody in the subreddit was talking about kind of having everything named for their park and wanted to do the same thing. And I think that's a really cool idea. So if you guys think that's cool too, let me know in the comments down below if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing or doing, and I'll try to facilitate as best as I can. As always, this has been Concepts of the Talking Gamer Zone. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Be sure to leave a like. It helps me out a lot, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.